let's kick. All right, good morning or good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vincent Meza. This is Listings to Leads, and we're here to talk about how to get listings. I think it's still tied out in the market. Inventory is still an issue across the country, but what I'm going to show you today is working right now. Like in our markets, our clients are giving us feedback right now of how they're getting high quality listings. So I'm going to get you to understand that. I'm going to walk you to that point. But you know, we've got an hour here, and I know it's hard to stay along and follow along. So I'm going to start with the easy things first. There are a lot of ways to capture leads, and I want to start first with the easy things, then we'll kind of end on the hard things. But I do want to put a caveat on that. What is easy does not get you the highest quality leads, and definitely not in any sort of volume. What's going to be at the end of this is a little more hands-on, but you will understand when you see it why it's actually getting the highest quality leads. So right now, we're going to just talk about this page right here. It's called PDF guides. As each of you log in, you will see that you have this. And I want to point out, just in case you're not aware, that there are 40 guides for buyers and there are another 40 for sellers, for homeowners. And your color, your branding, your logo is on every page of every one of these guides. Every one of these guides is about 5 or 6 pages long, okay? And your contact information, your pictures on every page. So you've got 40 different ways of reaching out, 40 different topics to talk about what's happening for homeowners. And here's one here that's 5 dangers of overpricing. And if we click the market button, you're going to see that there's short form video scripts. You can run an ad on Facebook and Instagram in 2 clicks. You can run an ad on Google, 2 clicks. There's social media posts, which are free. You're not paying for that. There's an e-flyer for your database, which means you can copy and paste gosh, sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing there. What did I do? I was trying to let somebody in the account, and they kind of messed up in on the video. So what I was saying is with the PDF guides, let's just get back to there. You got an e-flyer for your database, so you can copy and blast out, print flyers, door hangers, and postcards. So lots of ways, but that's not, remember how I said we're going to start off easy? That's not the easy thing. The easy thing is now that you know you got 40 seller PDF guides, if you go over here to your social content page, this is where we post this stuff automatically to your social media accounts. And when you come to this page the first time, it's going to kind of ask you, connect to your social media accounts. Each of you have your own. You can connect your own social media accounts right here. It will then ask you, how often do you want us to post? The default is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can make it every day of the week. You can make it 1 day a week. But the easy part is when you click on topics, you can turn on those PDF guides. So remember, I said there are 40 for homeowners. There's another 40 for home buyers. You can just click a button and we will automatically post them on your social media accounts throughout the year. Okay. And there are 40 different topics, things from, curb appeal to negotiating to pricing properly, probate, divorce, and real estate, all kinds of topics that are going to be relevant. And by coming to this page here, all you have to do is click on this button right here. It says PDF guides. Click on that box, and that's going to activate those to go out. This is very simple to do. You're connecting your socials. You're telling us how many days, and then definitely turn that on. It'll be a full color kind of post. It'll have a little bit of language. It'll tell you click to download. And if they click to download, they're going to land on a landing page where they have to give you their contact information in order to download that. If you want, turn on some of the cool kind of articles that we have here. You can drill down by clicking an eyeball. We've written dozens of articles under these tabs. Really great for free content on your social media. Okay, so that's That's easy thing number one. Next easiest has to do with listings. And in this way, running ads on Facebook that on properties that are either pending or sold or under contract, all of the language, you'll see it here in a moment, is designed to capture listing leads. And getting things out in front of Facebook is really a low cost way of doing that. And if you're not familiar with our software here, we make it really easy. All right. And so let's see if I can find a property here that is, here's one that's pending. So it doesn't matter if you change it from pending to sold or whatever, you just, if it's later stage, under contract, under deposit, active contingent, it's all going to say kind of the same message. We're going to leave it on pending. And hey, what did I just do? There it is. Click on market listing. And if a very simple way, if you have our social media auto posting turned on, we're going to post that to your social media accounts, right? And there's going to be a lead capture behind that to capture listing leads, right? And this says, hey, pending in Surprise. And this is going to affect your home value, right? For it won't even say that. It'll just say, hey, go find out about it. But when you get there, it's going to offer a free home value. When we click on Facebook and Instagram, well, now we're doing a paid ad. And when just by clicking on that, it says, hey, when this home is sold, it's pending now. When it's sold, it will affect your home value. Click here to get a free home value. So this one, you're running an ad. Boom, create ad. It's a $50 ad for 7 days. When you run an ad like this, the cost per lead is about $7 each. So you might get, you divide 7 into 50, about 7, maybe 8 leads. What's great about these leads is they come with name, email, and phone number pre-populated from the Facebook profile. So note when it pops up and says, would you like this info? Nobody has to type anything in. It's just automatically pulling that. You may know this, that if you get locked out of your Facebook account, you're going to need your phone number and email to get back in. So those tend to be really accurate. So running an ad on a property that's pending, let me make sure I give you those numbers right. These leads cost around $2.50. Okay. If you run an ad on a property that's sold, those leads cost around $7 each. And if you do something under contract, it's going to be closer to $2.50, right? And these are averages across the country, but this is what we're seeing literally in the past week, leads coming in these prices. And I will, just to give you some detail on Facebook, a lot of realtors know I can run an ad on a property that's for sale and get buyer leads. So since a lot of people know that, a lot of people are running those kinds of ads, and you pay a certain amount for those leads based on the competitive nature, how many realtors are running ads in a similar way against you in the same space. Not many agents will run an ad on a property that's sold. They don't even think of that. So I might say 5% of all realtors in the country, which is actually a high number, run ads on their sold properties to get listing leads. Not even 1% of realtors will run an ad on a property that is pending or under contract. And that's why these leads cost as little as $2.50, even $2.40 each. So if I run a $50 ad on a property that is pending and I'm getting charged $2.50 each, I'm going to wind up with 20 leads with name, email, and phone number. It's pretty easy. You just choose the property and you click create ad. Okay. Now, there are other cool things over here, but we're just going to start with the easy thing, right? Now I want to back up to, now I want to go to the ads page, and well, they're not connected to their ads. So I'm going to jump out of this account right here. And that's because this is the office umbrella. So they don't necessarily, I'm going to jump into mine so that we can look at that. There are two kinds of ads on Facebook that you can run that will get you listing leads as well, right? And probably I want to talk about kind of the simpler one first, right? We're going to do the easy stuff first. We're going to do an ad on PDF guides. And I kind of explained it earlier. We can do that earlier. What we did by turning it on social content is that's a free post to your social media accounts. You might have hundreds of people following you. You might have 20 people following you, but it's only targeting that group, right? And if you've got right hashtags, it might reach a few more. But when you run an ad, and let's create an ad on a PDF guide, well, now this is going to reach thousands of people, right? And since we're focused here on this call on how am I going to get more listings, even though we've got 80 PDF guides, half of them, 40 of them are for home owners. And so let's give it a second to do its thing. I'll have a sip of coffee. And if I click on, seller PDF guides, I'm going to land on it. But let's just do this one, divorce and real estate. Okay. I'm going to click it. I want lead ad, so I get pre-populated name, email, and phone number. That's the default setting anyway. And I click create ad. The ad is written. Everything is set. For somebody to respond, it's very easy. They click on it. It's got their name, phone number, and email pre-populated. It says, hey, do you want this? One answer, yes. They click it, then they get the link to download it. All you have to do is type in the name of your favorite city, right? And publish. Now, just like that last ad, it's a $50 ad, but Facebook they set a different price for this lead. This lead cost around on average $10 each. So I've shown you how to run a couple of ads, right? The sold ad, I said leads cost $7, so you get about 7 leads. Now I'm telling you these leads cost about $10, so you're going to get about 5 leads. And don't forget that the under contract and pending listing ads, you'll get 20 leads. Same activity, just different cost on those leads. Okay. So that's simpler. You do, all you got to do is type in Phoenix or, Chandler or wherever you want to go there to do that. So let's talk about what gets a little more complicated, and that is running a landing page ad. And I'm going to do the default one because I see a lot of agents do this. It's called free home values. I'm going to leave it on lead ad so I get name, email, and phone number. And it looks like this. Now, mine says Folsom. Yours is not going to say Folsom. We are doing some testing. Yours is just going to be like this suburban street picture. And it's not going to even mention Folsom. It's just going to say your home value has changed. So you might type in, let's just go here and say Chandler, right? That's kind of south, a little bit south there. So, and if you use our default page, it will not say Chandler anywhere. It won't even look like Chandler. And that can be a very ineffective way of doing this. So I'm going to show you the right way to do it. And then I'm going to make it more complicated so that you get better lead quality. Okay. So what I don't want you to do is do our free home value one. What I do want you to do is go to landing pages over here and click on create landing page. Let's see if it's going to do it. So there's a green button up here. This page is kind of thinking its way through. You click here on create landing page. You want to create property valuation plus. These are the pages that give an instant home value. And so we click, there, we could type in Chandler and we would create a page. When you create this page, it gives you a generic look. Let me show it to you. It has a coffee cup on it and a laptop. And we kind of just bought that and put it there as a placeholder, wanting you, whenever you create a landing page, to make sure and click, sorry for jumping around there, click edit and tools and put a picture of something that looks like that area, whether it's Chandler or Phoenix or Scottsdale. Maybe it's a golf course. Maybe it's a cool restaurant. Those local things get people to respond. You upload the photo right here where it says upload image. You want it to be about 1900 or 2000 pixels wide. Any fancy new smartphone, if you hold it horizontally, is going to have a big enough photo to upload and put here. But you want it to really be from your area, not just a home or something like that. So assuming that you've created those, and you should be creating those for each of your farm markets, well, then you go to ads. And you should actually be creating those landing pages for more than just running ads on. And we'll kind of get to that in a moment, but you want to have a landing page for every town. What is Mesa over there? There's like different towns around there, right? And so I'm going to guess each of you are trying to build listings in a handful of towns. And so, you might want to create that. And once you've done that, you can say, create Facebook ad. Now I have one here, a landing page, not for Chandler and not for Phoenix, but I have one for Concord. Let's do that. Now, Concord is a small town right by me, and this is going to be relevant to you because Phoenix is a bit of a metropolis. There's like one town here, and then there's another town here, and it just they're right next to each other. And so if I run an ad, because I've already created my Concord landing page, and I click create ad, let's see what happens, and let's see how this all works. So the ad's written. It says, what is your home worth now? Recent home sales have changed and going to affect your home value. Click here, get your home value. So I should type in Concord. Okay. And that's going to target those people. But I can't shrink this radius. And this has been the biggest problem for about 5 years on Facebook. 5 years ago, I could say, I only want homeowners who live in Concord to see this ad. And for various reasons, you can't do that any longer. And that makes this ad easy to do, but not very effective in getting high quality leads. And let me explain to you why. Okay. Let's type in Concord, California. Concord on the map here is in my county, which is Contra Costa County, right? And in Contra Costa County, there are a lot of cities. And if we're kind of zoomed in, right here is the city of Concord. If I back out on this map, that ad with a 15-mile radius is going to show all over the place. Almost everybody in this area is going to see this, but my ad's only speaking to this neighborhood. This is one of the reasons that agents get frustrated. They're like, I heard this works, but it doesn't work. Well, why? Well, this is a big reason why. And to help you understand more in your area, let's go look at Scottsdale, right? So you now know that you can make a page for Scottsdale, and you would go run an ad on it because that's what you think you should do, and you should. But just with the default settings, what Facebook would allow you to do, you're not going to have a really successful time. Because in this picture, pretty much everybody, well, this might be a little bit wider than a 15-mile radius, right? Maybe that's 20, right? Maybe longer. But you know that if you're running an ad here, all these people all over Phoenix and Mesa and Tempe, that's what's going on. That's why this ad does not work that well just by using it this way. Okay. You will get some leads, some will be okay. And hopefully that gets you excited. So that's the easy ways of doing things, what I've shown you so far. Let's dig under this particular ad and figure out how are we going to make it work. And first, we're not going to use this location here. Right down here is a section that says retarget current leads. Now, this is where it gets difficult. You want to find a company, maybe your MLS will do this, or Remind.com does this, or RedX, and a number of other companies. You want to buy a spreadsheet of homeowners in Scottsdale. And on RedX or on Remind, you can say, hey, I want homeowners that have owned a home for more than 5 years. And you get that in a spreadsheet, and you upload it on Facebook, and then you click retarget current leads, and you've created a custom audience that says, I don't have one built, but L2L, it would say sorry, I have a very sensitive mouse. It would say, Scottsdale homeowners. That would be the list that you uploaded into your Facebook account. And now you can target those. If you're going to be in the industry, for more than 3 years, if that's your goal, you really want to, and you want to have listings in your business, you want to build out these lists. Now, if I look at this map again, you might want to build out a list for Chandler, for Mesa, for Scottsdale, for Glendale, right? These are different farm areas. And then you can create a page for Glendale. You can create a landing page for Chandler, and then you can target those direct homeowners right there. So let's go over here and let's go back to our ads page and let's talk about how you would actually do that. How would you know? So first of all, you're going to find that data set, that spreadsheet of homeowners from another company. We just don't have that. And let's give it a second while we get back there. On your page should be, I'll wait for it to get there, a button that says create audience. Now, let me remind you, you are at this point already connected to your Facebook account. So when I click create audience, I could name it Chandler Homeowners, right? And I can upload it. It has to be 1,000 leads long. It can't be 250 or 500. It has to be 1,000 names. And this is really important. And people often, I train our clients often on this. That right there says use this format. And what that means is your spreadsheet has to look just like that. And often when you buy a list from a third-party company, there's going to be 20 columns of information. You only need 4, and it has to say email on top, number, first name, last name. That is the format of the spreadsheet that you're going to upload. You're going to upload it here, and you're going to import it. And at that point, that spreadsheet, that custom audience called Chandler Homeowners, is going to live in your private Facebook ad account, in your ad manager. Even if you stop working with us, you would still be able to run ads and target these homeowners. And so that's why this is getting kind of tricky and difficult, but it's not that difficult with our platform. And once you do that, well, now you can say, well, now I want to run PDF guides. I mean, you've got 40 of them. I want to target those people in Chandler, or I can create a landing page for Chandler and I can run an ad and target those people. Again, you probably got at least 3 different areas that you want to focus on, right, in your market, in that big metropolitan market. And you want to build a landing page for each one of those pages. You don't, if you say Phoenix, right, and let me kind of just say that. And Phoenix is the broader term for your whole area. And I own a home in Scottsdale. I may not care that you know about Phoenix because I want the specialist who knows Scottsdale. And so here we're looking at Orinda. Orinda is a small town, 20,000 people, right 10 minutes away from me. And if I go run this on Orinda here, like most agents would, it's going to shoot out all around. And so I know this is not going to work. But if I have a page that has the famous 100-year-old theater sitting there, and I target a list of people, I don't target up here, I target a list of homeowners in Orinda because I bought the list, right? So I know it is a list of homeowners. Well, now this becomes very powerful. Let me just give you a dollar point which you want to keep in mind. These leads cost about $15 each, okay? And so I have explained to you that, oh, if you run a pending ad, well, that's going to be $2.50. Now, this is and then I said a PDF guide lead, that's going to be about $10. These cost often around $15. They could be a little bit more, a little bit less, but that's just because a lot of agents like to run these kinds of things. Facebook knows that listings are important to realtors, and so they charge accordingly. So that's kind of what I want to talk about here on Facebook of like, these are the ways to get listing leads. And obviously you got to kind of jump through a couple hoops to make that work. Let's talk about Google real fast. Now, a lot of agents don't run ads on Google. Um, I think because it's more complicated and it's and it's more expensive, right? But I do have to explain the difference from Facebook and Google. So here, it's a lot easier to have a successful ad. I'm gonna go right here. I have a page about Concord. If I just got to type in the name of the town and publish. Okay. That's a really easy way. And it says view link. I'm just going to show you. You don't actually have to click this. We're pointing to the landing page that I created for Concord, right? So that's all making sense. Somebody goes to Google and says, how do I sell my home, or some words like that. This ad pops up. They click on it. They land on that landing page. But let's understand what's going on over here. We have a $50 a day budget, not $50 a week like Facebook, a day. And that's because seller leads on Google are more expensive than seller leads on Facebook. Here's why. Facebook is the #3 website in the country. Okay. That means a lot of people spend time there. Google is the #1 website in the country. Why? Because 86% of all questions are asked on google.com. And those questions are, what is my home worth? How do I sell my home? What are the taxes when I sell my home? All those kinds of questions. 86% of all people go to Google to get that answer. And this is how you compete on that page. Now, the reason we have a $50 a day budget is that these leads can cost a lot. Now, we've had Facebook ad software for over 10 years. And that's why I can tell you, because we analyze these things on a quarterly basis, of I can tell you this is what's happening in the cost for a Facebook lead. But on Google, we don't have that kind of deep data yet. And so I'm just getting you anecdotal information, meaning I talk to realtors every day of the week, and they're telling me what their leads are costing. A seller lead from an ad like this in Dallas, Texas, costs $30 each. Okay, so it's a $50 a day budget. You're going to get one lead per day, one click to your landing page every day. In Western Pennsylvania, that same click costs $22. In Utah, Salt Lake City, that click costs $17. I don't know what a seller lead cost in your market. Mike, do you know on Google? You have any experience with that? But there is a cost that is set by Google, and I can run the exact same ad, but if I'm not in your area, it's going to have a different cost. So they are more expensive leads, but they are higher quality leads. Okay. So you can, I think a lot, and I'll tell you this just sort of, for conversation or learning, like, I was speaking to a realtor in Vancouver, British Columbia in Canada, just north of Washington. This same exact ad, these leads cost $200 to $300 each. And that's because those homes are expensive and there's a lot of big teams driving up the cost of that lead. So he's saying, yeah, as a newer agent, and this was a smart, experienced agent, he's like, I have to build my business with Facebook where I can afford to get leads and do other marketing until I can compete on Google, the #1 website, because that's just what's happening. Right. So you can kind of think of it that way. Where does Google fit in your budget? It's the #1 website. 86% of all questions on the internet are asked here, but can you afford to be there? Right. Okay. So that's ad online stuff. Let's talk about the thing that is more difficult, but definitely the highest quality leads. Okay. So we've talked for 30 minutes about fairly easy ways of getting leads, and then the different kinds of how do you say, lead quality there, right? Each of you, if you have a listing in your account, these tools are made automatically. If you don't have a listing, you can borrow one. If somebody says, yeah, like you say, hey, I really want to build my business in Chandler, but I don't have listings. Does anybody have one in Chandler? And they say yes, click grab listing, drop in the zip code, drop in the MLS ID, and grab it. And that will pull it into your account. And at that point, you're going to have I got to adjust the list of property here. You're going to have this tool here called the nearby homeowner letter. Okay. And the nearby homeowner letter, it's like 6 down on this list. It's a pretty simple letter. I'm going to download it right here. Oh, I see a question here. I don't know the exact number, but is it closer to 20 or 25? Okay. So I was asking Mike about the cost of seller leads on Google. He says it's between 20 and 25 bucks each. So, we've got a $50 ad budget there. If it's 20 bucks each per lead, you probably would get 2 leads a day, right? That's what he is saying. Or there's a range there, right? 1 to 2 leads a day. So here we're back on the market listing section. So any listing has this letter. It is the nearby homeowner letter. I think I downloaded it here. Yeah. Let's look at it real quick. And, this is our number one tool for getting listing leads that turn into listing contracts. Okay. So I talked about a lot of ways to get listing leads with our system. There are even more that I'm going to talk about, but the highest quality leads come from this one piece of paper. We're pulling it up here. You're meant to download it and print 50, 100, 200, right? In this case, it says, hey, we've got a home we just listed in Granite Bay. Go here and check it out. When this home is sold, it's going to affect your home value. Go here and get your free home value. So it's one piece of paper that says, I've got a home that's just listed and go check it out. And that's going to affect your home value when we sell it. Go get your free home value. One piece of paper, right? How and why is this the number one tool, right? It's the number one tool, not just because Scott and I think it's super cool. It's the number one tool because our clients keep coming back and saying, we're getting a bunch of leads from this, and these people are converting into listings. And that's our measurement. There's no other tool that our clients is saying, sorry, old memory there. Let's go over to our listings to leads mastermind group, and let me show you what I am talking about. So if you're not in our mastermind group, you should absolutely get in there. And there's a little magnifying glass. I just clicked on it. And I recommend these 3 names if you're writing anything down: Pat Motley, Chris Winstead, and Dustin Fox. We'll look at Pat and Chris right now. But Pat is actually, her story is relevant because I have the feedback on this that's about 2 weeks old, and the results are 2 weeks old. So she came in September 18th and said, hey, I just sold a home, so it's time for me to mail the nearby homeowner letter out. Okay. She says, this is the second mailer because I mailed these people when it was just listed. So remember, I showed you my letter that says it's just listed. So it looks just like this. And she's saying, yeah, now that it's sold, I'm going to mail this same group and tell them that the property is sold. She's saying here too, if you read it, she says that I got 4 listing leads from the first 100. So now we're doing the second 100. And I want to show you what she's doing. So this letter that she's added some text right here. And it says, within a 1-mile radius, this is what's going on around your house in this neighborhood, right? When we give you the letter, it doesn't have that much data, but she probably pulled it from her MLS or something like that. And you can edit it before you mail it, before you print it. So she does that. She puts that in there. She even put some this language up here next to the house. She customized that too. And then she did something that none of our clients I've ever seen do before. She printed on the back of the letter so that she could, tri-fold this thing. And even that stamp that looks like just sold in Francis Street, like that looks like a custom stamp to me, right? So when she folds it, she even hand writes these envelopes. So she is making this look like it's loaded with relevant information to a group of 100 people. And what she's telling us in her post is, yeah, when I mailed it out as just listed, I got 4 leads. I got, four owners calling me. I asked her later on, you can see it in the comments down here. I said, well, what was the result of this? She says, I had 3 people call me and 1 person text me. all wanting to sell next year, all wanting their home values now. Okay. So one home, 200 mail messages sent out in print. They are handwritten. She has 8 people communicating with her from just 200 letters. If you run an ad for $100 on Facebook, I don't think you will have 8 people communicating with you. You will have a conversion process that ideally you're gonna get really good at. This is the way. Pat's been a client of ours for almost probably longer than 10 years. And that's why she's kind enough to share what's working for her, right? This is another guy I mentioned, and he's saying, hey, I got 5 listings in 3 months. And he makes these cool videos. The interesting story here is he moved from one state to Texas in that first summer of COVID. Okay, so it was kind of a freaky market there, but he moved there with his wife and children, and he was saying, yeah, I want to dominate this area. So he starts borrowing listings from his colleagues, and he says in the notes, if you read them, that he mails this letter out every 2 weeks to this group of people that own their homes for 5 years or more. He bought that list from Remind. He's even got like lmrhomevalues.com. So he's pointing everybody to that landing page, and he tells you right there in the video. He mails that letter out on borrowed listings every 2 weeks to the same group of homeowners, and at some point they open them up. Fast forward, at the end of that year, he is already the top listing agent, and at the beginning of 2022, he starts his own office. And the very first thing he does is he says, hey, here's a YouTube channel for my own recruiting efforts. Let me show you how I customize listings to leads to get even more business. I would go look for this guy and see what he is doing, because all he's doing is growing, and he's leveraging that letter, which each of you have in your accounts anytime you have a listing in your account. Okay. So that is a kind of a hard way, especially that story that Pat just told you. Let me tell you that we created an easy way, because we knew that letter was super powerful, and we know our clients don't like to burn a lot of time to get that out. So we started a partnership with Express Copy. You go over here and you can create an account with Express Copy. And if you click print and mail, let's give this a second to bake. Express Copy is going to do all that work so that you don't have to. Okay. And all you have to do is click get mailing list. I want a 1 mile radius, maybe 2 miles. I want them to have over 6 years equity. It's already built in. That's the default settings. Send out 100 pieces. Boom, submit. So when Pat is telling you, I did all this, I hand wrote it, she actually was so gracious to say, I put in 4 hours to do that, right? And she spent about $130. Here, you will probably put in 1 minute, maybe 2 minutes to get to this button, and you'll spend $185. So an extra $40, $50, right? But that's for 100 pieces. So it's more expensive. I don't know if we're going to get the same results here. It's the same exact letter, but you can't customize it here because it's just taking what we have and pushing it out. And it's not that super cool custom envelope, right? So you can kind of ask yourself, do you have more time or money? If you spend more time doing it custom so it doesn't look like a bulk mail company, you're probably going to get higher results. So that is called the nearby homeowner letter. If you want listings in your business, I highly recommend using that. There are other ways of getting listing leads. I will point out that there are postcards and door hangers here. So if you've got just listed, it's going to give you a website on the front of the postcard. On the back, it's always going to say if that affects your home value, get your free home value. Now I'm in my account. Yours is going to be all branded to you and your office. It's going to have your colors. It's all going to be great. We've got Express Copy right here too to help you on this. I do want to point out, we are not taking any percentage of this spend. This is not like a revenue kickback deal. We want our clients to use this because we know it will help their business. So we've just found this partner who will do it, everything. Frankly, there aren't many companies in the United States that will hand fold and stuff an envelope for you. This is one that will do it. So let's see, what else is out there that I think you should use? The e-flyer for your database. So if you're somebody with hundreds or thousands of leads, there's an electronic version of that same tool. Okay, just list it up top, click on those links, become a buyer lead. When that home is sold, it's going to affect your home value. So this is one flyer with both buyer and seller lead capture. All you got to do is copy it, go to your CRM, paste it, blast it. Not too difficult, but for some people it's difficult. Let's do one last thing, which is kind of challenging, but we kind of covered it, but it's something that you should take advantage of. Earlier, I mentioned that you should be creating a landing page called Property Valuation Plus. That's the instant home value page for all your farm markets. Okay. Chandler, Scottsdale, etc. I see a question here. So I'm going to answer that and I'll keep moving. Let's go look here. What Facebook group was that in? That is our mastermind group. Let me actually, I'll kind of make it easy for everybody here. This mastermind group you can't find on the internet unless you're in it. And right now, I think I should be able to get a link. There aren't too many people on this call. Yeah, Shelly, sorry, you can look around forever. That's not what we want. I think invite with a link. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm trying to get you the invite link. Copy link. Got it. Got it. Yeah. So this should be coming back to all of you in a group chat. Let me know if you can see it. And that will be a direct link to the group. And then we'll approve you and you'll be in it. And then you'll be able to find this group, right? And you'll want to check out Dustin Fox and Alicia Pless and Pat Motley and Chris Winstead. Okay. So we were talking about creating this landing page, and if you have the page created, and that's, you know, we kind of covered that earlier, so I'm not going to dive deep in that right now. Sorry for jumping around here. Click on Edit and Tools. And we really need to rename this, but on Advanced Options, we're always working on making this page more effective, or making all of our pages more effective, is print marketing. Okay, so you can turn on auto posting here, which means if you created a landing page for Scottsdale home values and you created another one for Chandler and another one for Mesa, you could turn them all to have them auto post to your social media accounts right here. But I want to point out print marketing because if you don't have a listing, we have a letter that looks almost like that nearby homeowner letter. The only reason I think why this letter is not our number one tool, it's because it's harder to find. Who the heck is going to dive that deep in our system to look up this thing? Only the people have ever heard me say this. You don't need a listing to use this tool. You need a picture that looks like something in a neighborhood. And you can customize this and say, hey, you know what? 50 homes sold last month. That's 100 for the year. The highs here, low here. Keep it all on one page. That affects your home value. Go here and get your free home value. Okay. That's definitely something that I would recommend you using. And just like the nearby homeowner letter, we have integration with Express Copy here, so they can mail it out. If you're building one for Chandler, you can target those Chandler people. We also have door hangers and postcards. So if you like to do a little door knocking, hey, door hanger is a good way to go. Postcards, you can mail them. Call to actions on the front and back. So that's kind of my story today, guys. We started from the easy stuff and ended on the complicated stuff, but it's definitely some of those harder things like, handwriting envelopes. It just pays off. the reason our clients go through all that work is they want more listings, right? So I know when we've had that letter for years and our clients have been finding bulk mailers for years and they just don't often work the same way. That lady, Pat, is showing us that, hey, I put in 4 hours to handwrite 200 envelopes, but I have 8 listings, right? That's really, you may not want to do that, or you may, it's your choice, right? So that's it. The easiest way to get listing leads, run some sold ads on Facebook. Cheaper, if you want cheaper Facebook leads, run pending or under contract ads on Facebook. Google, they get pricier, still easy. Can you tell us again how we do the flyer to? Yeah, so whenever you create a tool, whether it's a PDF guide or a landing page like this, I'm going to click on this one. We might have been on it actually. Yeah. If we click on advanced options, you're always going to see an e-flyer as an option. And I want you to kind of look at this if you can, because there's a button here that says source. I'm going to click it and you're going to see this nice page here look really weird. This is HTML. So you're going to copy the HTML and paste it in your CRM, and then click the source or HTML button until it looks like this again in your CRM. And then you blast it out. We recommend that you use something like this on any tool you want. On the back of a flyer, there's an e-flyer for those PDF guides that I mentioned earlier. You can create a home valuation landing page for, Scottsdale. All of our tools have e-flyers, even your listings. If you've got a sold listing or you got a pending listing, you can take that flyer. All of these things have e-flyers. So let's just go look. Let's go find a sold listing here. Sorry, my throat's getting dry. I got a sold listing right here. And it says, get out of here, e-flyer for your database right here. So here you can see just sold, click on that. You know it's going to capture leads there. That affects your home value. Click on that and go become a seller lead, right? You copy the code here, which is copying the HTML, and you take it out to your deal. Now, I'm thinking all of you have CRMs. If you don't have CRMs, you might just send a test email, right? And that will go to you. And when you do that, you could forward it. So maybe you've got a bunch of people that you just have a group thing that you forward to. Well, that's a very simple way of doing that, right? So, it's actually not that simple. But anyway, yeah, all of our tools that I have been talking about all have an e-flyer option. You want to click copy, get the HTML, take it to your CRM, paste it in, and then blast it out. Let's see here. Yes, Mike is saying you all have CRM. So yeah, and that's possible. And just along that line, if you all have CRMs, if you all have more than 200 leads in your database, you should probably take one of our flyers every week and blast it through there, because it may not be clear to you yet. Every one of our flyers is always going to have the opportunity to become a buyer lead and a seller lead. Okay. And so you don't know where those people in your CRM are at any given moment. Something might have changed. Maybe there was a life change, a marriage change, whatever. So all of a sudden, what wasn't relevant when that person became a lead is now very relevant. And so you want to make sure you're using our tools, which basically are re-engaging and reactivating your leads so that you're getting them closer to a transaction. Well, everybody, are there any other questions? Thank you for joining me today. Put your questions in the chat panel or unmute yourself. Like the reason I was showing you Pat's story is that, Pat's results have come in 2 weeks ago. And I guarantee you, every time Pat gets a listing, she mails that letter out when it's just listed and just sold, and she just continues to get more listings. You want to figure out how to get that into your business in a consistent way. I don't see any other questions. So Mike, thanks for having me, and my apologies for missing that last one. I got to figure out these time zones one of these days. And
no problem. I appreciate you doing this.
Don't forget about our YouTube channel. And I actually want to make a recommendation on our YouTube channel. I think I sent this to everybody. A lot of the calls that I do are for clients like you, and we can't talk about everything in depth, right? But there's actually a couple of calls here. Scott did something on open houses that is a really deep dive there. And I did something, where is it? One-on-one deep dive on Facebook ads. If you really want to understand Facebook, there's a lot here that I never discuss in my weekly calls, because this lady has been a client for a week. She moved from one state to another, and she was really trying to build out a new business and didn't quite understand what was going on Facebook. So if you have a little spare time, 11 days ago, deep dive on Facebook ads could be really helpful for you. I'm pretty sure you would all learn something on that call. Well, everybody, thanks again. Enjoy the holidays. And I will give you one last pro tip. Right around Thanksgiving, all your competition takes a nap until spring. Now, this may not be true in Arizona, but it is true in a lot of parts of the country. If it is true in Arizona, that means the cost of your leads is going to drop until your competitors come back to the market to start working. So we have seen the cost of leads drop by 50%. We've seen the cost of leads drop by 70 and even 90% in some years. I don't know what's going to happen this year, but it's a good time to be advertising. Robbie's got a question. For the targeted ads, if you have less than 1,000, are you able to create the list in Facebook and use that list? No, Robbie, you're not. You actually, there's a longer answer. Yes, you can create the list. No, Facebook will not let you target that list. So let's imagine you have a list of 500 homeowners in Scottsdale, because that's your list. It won't, you can upload it, you won't get an error message, but because it's not 1,000 people long, Facebook will not let you use it. So add more people to it. It may not be as accurate. Make the list 1,000 people long before you upload it. That's really the message there. Yeah. Oh, I see another message here. Okay, you're welcome. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks. I don't see any more questions. So again, thanks for having me.
And Vince, you're going to send me the copy of the video or recording on this, correct?
For sure. Yeah, I'll do that today.
Awesome. So I can get this out to anybody that would like me to post it or send it to them, so that you guys have that or want to rewatch it, you can.
Great. And then just in case, on this YouTube channel, the first 20 minutes of this Get Started call, the most recent call, tells you how to turn on all the automation. If you're new to us, I mean, I know you've been using our platform for years, but many of you have not set up all the automation that we have. You might want to watch that for first 15 minutes to turn on some of the latest features. Okay, Mike, I'll get this call to you. Thanks, everybody, for joining me today. I appreciate the questions.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Okay, enjoy the holidays. Merry Christmas. Bye.
You too. Merry Christmas. Bye.